Hi, this is Joe again with another video. For this video, I'm going to be doing this for my Big Six Towers page on Facebook. So those of you who usually my subscribers, my followers on YouTube, please disregard this video. It's going to be for them because it's, like I said before, it's easier for me to upload these videos to YouTube and then link it over to Facebook because there's a space issue with Facebook. So it's a little bit easier for me to take the extra step and upload to YouTube. Of course, on the day I'm doing this video, I'm doing this video like 3 days before the annual meeting, and of course, hopefully the election will be final by then, I hope. I'm doing this video because I do hope that most of you have voted for the board election. If you don't, I know what you're waiting for. I think it might be too late now to physically mail your ballots. As if you're doing it, what I like to call the old-fashioned way, is filling it out and physically mailing it. Maybe easier for those of you who have not filled out your ballots yet, if you're doing it with the paper ballots, to drop it off at the management office, or I think also maybe a public safety office when the office is not open, like overnight or something. And I do hope that we do have a quorum. I do hope the majority of you, or at least a good chunk of you, have voted for me this year, because this is my 4th year running, and most of you know who I am by now, because I've been on the ballot for now 4 years in a row. I've done these videos, I've done all the posts on the Facebook page here, and I do hope that I've convinced most of you to vote for me this year. I do hope so. I know there are certain people, in Big Six who, no matter what I say, no matter what I, stand for, and what I want to do as a board member, like, which I'm going to get into in a second, they just won't vote for me. For whatever reason, people won't vote for me. Which is a shame. And I know that people feel the same way about me as they might feel about, like, say, for Dorothy Comiskey, who, because of health issues, she has a man that's 3 years, but because she curses everybody out and stuff, and in times when she was allowed to be in meetings, she curses everybody out and stuff. But anybody who knows me knows when I go to meet, when we did have meetings, info meetings or open board meetings or whatever, I know, and 9 times out of 10, I just sit there and listen to what the board members have to say and give us updates on what's going on in our co-op. I don't constantly interrupt them. I don't curse them out. I don't call them a bunch of morons or schmucks. Or as much as this agreement, and they have issues with 2 of the board members. Despite that, when we had open meetings, I don't say a word. I keep my mouth shut. Unless if I have an actual issue that I want to bring up, I don't say anything. And that's why I have not been kicked out or banned from board meetings or banned from info meetings, because I don't disrupt everybody. I don't disrupt them. I don't cuss everybody out. I don't call people, like Dorothy Comiskey does, calls everybody a moron or a schmuck or whatever. I just don't like the fact that the people who constantly vote for me, or should I say, constantly vote against me, or don't vote for me, have more pull here than people who do vote for me. And people always try to find a reason and try and find something not to vote for me. And of course, some of it has to do with a lot of my posts that I post on here, particularly if somebody disagrees with me. And I know there was one issue that I have to discuss, that myself and other board candidates got a letter for, just I think it was like Thursday or Friday or something. We got this letter, which I want to mention. The issue that I recently posted just last week is the fact that there was one candidate whose bio was not printed up for some reason, and I think it was Muhammad Sabir, and I know I'm mispronouncing the guy's name. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name. Muhammad Sabir. I believe that's how his last name is pronounced. For some reason, when the management office, printed out the bios and put it under everybody's door in mass distribution, his bio, for some stupid reason, I don't know why, his bio was not included with the rest of the candidate, out of the 5 candidates, myself included. My bio was in there, all the other 5 candidates was in there, and the 6th one was Muhammad's, and his bio was not included, which could happen. So what the management did was they corrected their mistake, and they sent out his bio separately. And he said, "Well, we made a mistake. We didn't include his bio." He sent, Muhammad sent one in. We just, unfortunately, we didn't print his. It was a printing mistake. We didn't print his letter out, and so we all got his letter, which I personally didn't have a problem with the first letter. The issue that I had was we got a second notice, a second one of Muhammad's bio. That's the problem I had. Is that how come we got a second? I made this point. How come we got a second memo for, or a second, of Muhammad's bio? Why did we get a second one for? And of course, I got flagged. Oh, because they didn't put it out the first time. I said, yeah, they didn't put it out the first time, but we already got one bio of his. Why do we need a second one for? And people say, oh, how come you got 2 for? I got 2 because 2 of them was sent out. And so I got an argument with, a couple of you on the page, and one who was one person, and I'm going to mention the person's name, says, insisting that was BSing everybody. And I said, not BSing everybody. I said, I got the 2 letters. Let's see, I got. This is the this was the second one. With this picture one here and his bio and his letter. And I got the second one in here somewhere. And there's something that have all the information in here. I know I got the second one in here somewhere. I think it must have. Oh, yeah, here it is. This is the official one. This is a notice to all shareholders. Please find attached candidate bio for Muhammad Sabir, who is currently running for the Big Six. So this is the official notice from Big Six. Right here in the front. Of course, Muhammad's bio is here in the back. And this one is, for those of you who still think that I'm full of baloney, this is the second notice, right? And this is the original one, or should I say the official one from Big Six Towers for the management. Right? This is the official one. Right? This is the one that Muhammad, or people who are supporting Muhammad, passed around last week. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have the right to support whoever candidate they want to support. And this was to some of you will support, or more shareholders support me. There's another issue that we're going to discuss in a second. But regardless, we should not have gotten a second bio from Muhammad. They sent out one to make up for the fact that the management made a mistake in not putting his bio in the first place. So, like I said, I'm not complaining with the first notice. I'm complaining of the people saying out the second one. I know if Muhammad did it himself, or people who are supporting Muhammad sent it, did it as a favor to him. I really don't know. But it's the type of stuff that the board a few years ago, a couple years ago, stopped. because of the fact of the reason why they stop that or have people put out flyers for whatever candidate or candidates that someone is supporting, because of the whole white limit thing. Because he puts out his newsletter. So far, he has not put out a newsletter this year yet, which is kind of surprising to me. But regardless, because he was constantly putting his newsletters by everybody's door, the whole co-op, people want to stop people from putting up the flyers. Not only that, but other people were saying, "Oh, don't vote for this one, don't vote for that one, vote for these three people, vote for these three people." Because I have seen, and I have somewhere, and said that the people were supporting, "Oh, vote for these three candidates," and then you have somebody else put up another flyer saying, "Oh, vote for these three instead." I mean, this was going on back and forth. It was getting a little ridiculous, a little over the top. So management and the board decided to put a stop to it, all this stuff, which is quite sad because it hurts the candidates, I feel, because we can't promote ourselves. That's what I'm doing. This is my third video, second one on the page. That's why I'm doing this video, so I can help promote myself. So that's what I like to do is to promote myself, promote my candidacy. I know that the first time that I ran in 2017, I did a bunch of these videos, and people. I think by the time I did the third or fourth video, people were getting tired of it. So I'm glad I just stuck to 4. I did 3 before the election, and I did 1 afterwards. To thank all my supporters. But the 4th one was after the election results came in. But for the videos, I think that we should, or us, the candidates, should be allowed to promote ourselves. But the thing is, my issue was, well, how come we got the same exact bio, the same thing, twice for one particular candidate? I never made an issue of the no flyer thing, but because I made a mistake originally, I got this letter because like I said, because I'm a candidate from management saying, "Dear candidates," this letter was dated October 15th, so I got this just last week. This is especially for like 4 days ago. I got this letter. It says, "Dear candidates, management would like to remind you that we are still in the midst of a pandemic that is actually taking a turn for the worse in a geographical location. We ask that you practice proper social distancing while garnering election support and refrain from door-to-door solicitation during this year's process. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding during these times. Regards, Big Six Management." Well, I think it's mostly because like I just ran the letter to you. It's because of the virus more than anything else, and does not quote the the policy of putting out flyers out, which I was surprised that they didn't reference that. So I guess maybe it's easier or better than doing these videos instead of going door to door, which in the 4 years that I've been running for the board and trying to get elected to our board, I never went door to door, and I know individual people, individual shareholders, and ask them to please vote, and if you don't vote for me, I'm not going to hold any grudges and stuff. I just hope that you do vote for me because you believe in what I stand for. And of course, that's what I want to get into right now. And just hope that you believe in what I stand for, and take the time and elect me to the board, because this election is very, very important. Well, the election for the board of directors, even though a lot of people feel, things are never going to change and stuff. Well, if you elect me to the board, things will change. Believe me, things will change. Because I know that we do need a change in our board leadership. Because I have heard for years that they are tired of seeing the same people in the same positions on our board of directors. particularly in the board of two in particular. The reason why I don't mention these two guys' names is because if I do, I probably end up getting another stupid and probably end up getting another letter from management, which is I'm not going to get into any of that stuff now. But if I do mention them, I'm probably going to make a huge stink. And on the meeting on Thursday, I prefer not to mention their names because they're not worth. To me, in my opinion, they're not worth mentioning. Like I said in the other video, I'm still surprised to this day that these two guys have gotten re-elected, put back on this board. Because I guess maybe because people rather have them on the board, or at least the majority of you who have voted, rather have these two guys on the board instead of me. That's probably exactly what it is. But I tell you one thing, they don't care about this co-op. The people who vote for them think they care, but they don't. They just don't. One reason for that is because, well, I know this year is different because of the virus, and they don't have, info meetings anymore. Not one meeting this whole year. Even before the shutdowns, I'm talking about January and February. Over the winter, they didn't have no one. Or last winter or last fall, they didn't have not one info meeting. I mean, they had meetings like up to about May or June 2019, and it stopped. So over a year it stopped. And of course, partially it's because of the virus, but mostly because they don't want to have, a free for all, which usually these meetings go into, and so they pretty much stopped. And they only once this whole year they updated the Big Six website in terms of posting the board minutes. They haven't posted the board minutes since June. So July, August, September, and even the October board meetings. They had 4 board meetings since the last time that the Big Six website is updated in terms of board minutes. Not one board minute is on the website. If I'm elected to the board, that's going to change. Because as soon as the board minutes have been approved, they should go on the website immediately, or at least that week. And also, I'm in favor of posting the physical board minutes, which hasn't been done in over a year. Post it and have copies available in the mailroom so shareholders could take a copy for themselves, and also have the minutes posted along with the building rep minutes, under glass, and the bulletin boards that's under glass, because there's been notices there's been constantly be taken down, especially in my building. There's one particular guy who likes to take down notices, constantly take down notices, which is quite sad. So that's why I'm in favor of that. I'm in favor of having more communication, and even if we have to have the meetings via Zoom, which we are planning to do for the annual meeting on Thursday night, I'm in favor of that. That's as long as we have open meetings so that shareholders can know exactly what's going on in our co-op. But unfortunately, the two guys who are really running the board, even though it's a 9-person board, but it's really run by 2 guys, and we all know who the 2 guys are, they are not going to allow you to know what is going on at Big Six Towers. They don't want you to know what's going on. Because if they do, they're going to know they're not going to get re-elected here if you know what they're doing on our board. And not only that, but I want to have them not have in the same positions in terms of the different committees. Because there are different committees on the board. There's a move-in, move-out committee, there's a children's committee, there's a public safety committee, buildings and grounds, and also finance committee. These 2 guys have the same stupid positions they have been every single year they've been on the board. And other shareholders have complained to me and said, do you know who's on the committees? Do you know? Because since I run the Facebook page, people think that I get all the information But unfortunately, I'm getting the same information as unfortunately the rest of the other shareholders, and I'm not getting it. And I'm only saying they're not going. And if I'm telling you right now, if I'm not elected to this board of directors, the committees are not going to change. Nothing is going to change until you elect me to this board. Because it's about time that people, we change the committees that's on our board. Because some time ago, this happened about like 12 years ago with me. I put out a flyer against one particular board candidate that year, and this is in 2008. And I'm not going to mention the person's name because I don't want to humiliate this board candidate. I did put a flyer out because there's one board candidate who put off a notice that year when he ran for the board, saying he's the only honest board member who won't lie or deceive anybody. I took that man and I made up my own flyer, which I posted on in one building, and that's in Building 3. And I wrote it as a campaign letter, saying, although this person was, because what happened was that year, this one was on the board at that time, was running for re-election. He wanted to have a vote, a shareholder vote for refinancing, and we couldn't have one because of what the bylaws were. The shareholders could only vote for 3 things: that's board election, equity, and changes to our bylaws. So the board member thought that equity was like the same thing as refinancing, and push for a vote, and cost the co-op, across us, the shareholders, $10,000 to have this vote. So I rolled this whole thing up, saying, "Oh, he forgot to tell us that he was told 3 times that we were going to have a meeting and stuff, or a vote and stuff like that. A meeting, yes, but not a shareholder vote. We have a meeting to discuss this issue, but not a actual vote." So I wrote a flyer up, and because I wrote this flyer, this particular board member wanted to have me locked up for writing this flyer. First of all, I don't know how he found out that I wrote a flyer because we live in 2 different buildings. First of all, he lives in one building and I live in a different one. But regardless, he found out that I wrote a flyer out, and he wanted public safety, or should I say, ordered public safety, to have me hold down to the office and be interrogated over it. I believe it or not. And the public safety didn't do it because it was a campaign letter. What I wrote, and that's targeted when point for what this particular candidate wrote in his bio, in his candidate bio for that year. So I went point, and then just say that he's wrong in his opinion, and then say anything that he's entitled to his opinion, and we say another flyer say he's entitled to his opinion, but he's wrong in his opinion. It's pretty much how I roll it, and he wasn't honest enough to tell us about certain things. So what happened was he wanted me to be interrogated over it, and when that didn't work out, he actually contacted Elmhurst Hospital, the psych ward in Elmhurst Hospital, and they have 2 social workers, one psychiatrist and one social worker, came down to my house, came up to my apartment, and wanted to have me hold into the to the psych ward for like a 2-day or 3-day psych ward holding, because they had the nerve to write this letter out. I am not kidding, folks. This actually happened, and because this candidate who got re-elected that year, by the way, I was wondering who would call Elmhurst on me on this, the psych ward in Elmhurst Hospital on this, and then I saw in the November 2008 minutes that this person, this candidate, board member at the time, was thrown off the public safety committee because of trying to have me hold down to the management or the public safety office for this thing. Well, I know it's a long story, and for that to tell you this, there is a current board member who is ordering public safety to make sure to find out where I am, what I'm doing, following me around, and videotaping me. And he is one of the 2 members of the board of 2. And he's in charge of the public safety committee. Well, I should say he's the chairman of the public safety committee. Let me rephrase that. He's the chairman of the public safety committee, and he pretty much orders public safety to follow me around, to videotape me, and to go into the maintenance shop every single day and check the entire maintenance shop, scope it out, to make sure if I'm there every day, which I'm not. I'm not there every day. I'm not there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not there. The only reason why I'm there now is to make out work orders, because that's the policy of management now. Now you have to go into the maintenance, either physically go to the maintenance shop, or actually call them, one or the other, to call them up to make work orders out. Or if you need to make an appointment for the exterminator, you have to go to maintenance. Or if you have to make a work order because you got a clogged drain, or your toilet's constantly running, or you have a leaky faucet, or you have a leaky shower head, you have to either go to the maintenance shop or give them a call. Right? So naturally, I constantly need to exterminate in my apartment. So I constantly make work orders out, or make an appointment with the exterminator. So this board member is obsessed with me being there, even though I'm there no more than 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes tops, if that. And because by the time I make the work orders out, by the time everything else, that's it. It's easier for me to go to the shop than waste a stupid phone call. So, but now I got a stupid letter, a certified letter, I might add, from management complaining about my constant visits to the shop. I'm lucky I'm there twice a week now. To make an appointment for the exterminator and stuff. I'm lucky I'm there twice a week. 3 times maybe tops. And naturally, of course, the first time, and of course I know that the stupid letters came from, a wonderful board member who got elected 2 years ago to the board, and luckily his term will be up next year in 2021. And I hope he does not get re-elected, but he probably will, in my luck. And to end the nonsense. With this guy. And unfortunately, not only does he get re-elected, but he keeps being put as chairman of the Public Safety Committee. And in charge of the Finance Committee. Remember, this guy is wasting money by sending me letters. Well, I know how much it takes. The post office charges to send a certified letter, but he is wasting our money on this stupid personal grudge that he has against me. He's wasting shareholder money on this. And of course, when I make an issue out of it, or when I complain about it, or do these videos, or type up an actual post, I get, "Oh, Joe, quit complaining. He's doing a good job. He's doing this." Good job. Wasting shareholders' money on his personal grudge against me, If he's doing it against another shareholder, or at least one that's, very, very popular, in Big Six, believe me, people will be going nuts. Because since I'm not exactly Mr. Popularity, okay, I admit I'm not a popular guy. I'm not a popular person. A lot of you, I'm sure, don't like me and hate me and all that stuff, which is unfortunate. I wish you, I wish some of you didn't hate me so much, and to discuss it like adults, but maybe it's the wrong term. Maybe instead of talking it out, you rather confront me, get in my face, yell and scream at me, saying how wrong I am, saying or come up with full baloney and other stupid nonsense, and say, hey, I agree with what Joe has to say, but the guy acts like or complain or say that some of you agree with what I have to say, but you don't like the way I say it. Maybe I don't say it right. Maybe I don't express myself right. But you can't deny what I'm saying is true. You can't deny what I'm saying isn't true. And that's the problem. You can't say that I'm not making up stuff. But I'm not making up stuff. Like the issue with the 2 flyers for one candidate. I didn't make up that. And I didn't make that stuff up. I'm not making up anything else either. So unlike some people here who makes up stuff or goes over the top, like Dorothy Comiskey always did, and just go over the top and complain and call everybody stupid or moron and stuff. I may be a lot of things, but one thing, I'm not stupid. Right? Maybe like I just said earlier, maybe I don't express myself properly. Right? Which is a legit criticism, which I'm not going to argue that. But to say that I'm making up stuff, so I can get myself elected, is so totally not true. And I wish that people who say that stuff would just, cut out that BS. Because that could be a good board member. That I have more experience living here than any candidate who is currently running for the board this year. Because I've been living here for 48 years now. I just passed my anniversary like 10 days ago. Like October 9th, I think it was like October 9th or October 10th, was 1972 is when my family and I first moved into Big Six, and I've been living here ever since. And nobody else has lived here. I'm talking about who's a candidate for the 2020 election. No one has lived here more than 30 years. All the candidates, no one has lived here more than 30 years. I lived here 48 years. I remember we used to have a basketball court here, when we didn't have a generator here. I remember when the generator was built. I remember when we expanded, like 30 years ago, when we expanded our shopping center. Richard Stone expanded our shopping center. And we all know what happened with Richard Stone. I remember the whole Richard Stone thing, which happened 25 years ago already. And I remember all that stuff. I remember all this stuff. I have all this knowledge. I have all this history of what happened here in our co-op. And if you keep, and I want to say this is my final statement on this video, if you keep voting in the same people, in terms of if you keep voting in, if you're voting in for the same 3 people, the 3 people who are currently serving on the board now and one who has served on the board before, if you vote for those 3 people on our board instead of myself, Peter, and Peter, right, you're going to doom this co-op to what they did in the past. Like the saying goes, if you don't learn from a history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that's what will happen if you don't elect me to our board. And that's exactly what will happen. You're going to keep, because you keep voting in the same people. Nothing will ever change. You won't know anything that's going on. You won't have no meetings. Board minutes won't be posted in a timely manner. You're not going to have that. If you elect me to the board, you will know what's going on. And that scares the board too. That scares them. Because they have no excuses whatsoever not to post the board minutes on a timely manner. Or have info meetings, or have open meetings anymore. And there's also no excuse anymore to not fix the master antenna. And the master antenna has been messed up ever since the digital switchover back in 2009. It's like 11 years already that we have a problem with our master antennas in all the buildings. Now, people who, fortunately for one reason or another, cannot afford cable TV because either they want a fixed income. They got seniors or the elderly population, Big Six, I should say, who are on fixed income who cannot afford cable TV, to people who have been working for 7 months because of the pandemic, can't afford cable television and have to rely on the master antenna, cannot watch television in the last 7 months, or any show, or the news, or the debates, presidential debates or whatever. They can't watch even the most basic shows, basic channels, because all the channels are knocked out because it's not been fixed or upgraded. So like I said, in closing, I do hope those of you who have not voted yet, I'm sure most of you have voted already, or on the page have voted already, but those of you who have not voted, please vote for me for the board elections. Because there's no more deserving candidate. With all due respect to my fellow candidates, there's no more deserving candidate than I am. I'm the only one who promised to bring change to Big Six Towers, and to right the wrongs that's been going on since the Board of Two have taken over this board. Thanks for your attention, and please vote for me, and vote and send in your ballots, or vote, do the online balloting. Please vote. Thank you for your attention.